All right, y'all. I got that driver's side wrapped tonight. I was able to make it to the place and get the vinyl I was telling you about. And actually, the vinyl that he gave me was a little different than the last time. Uh, I don't know what you call it. The little ridges. The ridges are a little bit finer. If you see, the ridges on this vinyl is a little finer than the ridges on the vinyl that I had before. It's still the 4-way stretch vinyl, and I don't know if maybe they was out of stock of the one I had before, but this is what he gave me. So I actually wrapped the foam like I told you guys I was thinking about before. I used the Landau foam and wrapped all of this, the wood on both sides, and I wrapped that whole area up there with the Landau foam. I made sure I glued it down real good. Then I took some 120 grit sandpaper right here, just folded it in half, some 120 grit, and I just slowly sanded it. And I got it because it was kind of bulky in some spots. So some spots I sanded down a little more than others, and I got it on there. And I think this side turned out a lot better than the passenger side did with that foam on there. There's still some gaps. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. You see right here, before I put this, because I wrapped this piece as well, like I showed you guys on the other one, and I just bolted it, screwed it all back together for right now. I'm still gonna have to take it apart again, and when I go ahead and do whatever I'm gonna do with this bottom section. But before I had wrapped this gap wasn't here. So I'm thinking what I did was, when I drawed this around and folded it on the back side, I pulled it so tight that it's got this little gap sticking up, but I can live with that. Like I said, this side and right here, this is an imperfection that was in the roll of the vinyl. I was kind of upset about that, but that was actually nothing that I did. That was actually in the roll of vinyl when I unrolled it, and I didn't notice it at first until I already started gluing it. So, but oh well, you know, like I said, I'm happy with it. I got the door handle screwed in there so you can see it sits in there nice. Draws that material in there, everything. That's just the factory window switch. I already ordered the new window switches, so my idea is just to cut this section out and put the new window switches in there. They sell some on eBay, like universal window switches. So now I want to run an idea by you guys real quick and see what you guys think, because I'm still going back and forth about wrapping this area at the bottom. Of course, I have to do something with it because, you know, I seamed it together. But what if I took a piece of metal? So you see my sign up there. That's a sign that's laser cut or plasma cut out. And it was actually powder coated by one of my buddies, but it's real dusty right now. But it's a real nice, like turquoise, tealish blue color. So I was thinking, what if I cut the speakers out? Just imagine this outline right here, all the way around, minus the speaker hole. So it would go around the speaker hole, just like you see that, all the way over here and all the way down. And this middle section will be filled in. So just imagine one solid piece of metal going all the way around, except for the speaker holes would be cut out, and the metal would sit on there. And then I could have the guy who we had do those signs plasma cut out in the middle on each side. So of course I would have to keep this seam covered up. So you say 3 inches in the middle, it would have to stay solid. But on each side, I could have him plasma cut something in there, like maybe my business name is Midwest Customs, just like my TikTok. So maybe I could have him, and it would be a little smaller because that's kind of a tight space on each side, but maybe put Midwest and Customs coming down this way, or maybe just a big M and a big C right here, Midwest Customs, or I don't know. What do you guys think about that idea instead of wrapping this? So if the metal was on there, like I said, it would follow that whole edge all the way around like that. And then what I would do was, instead of hiding the bolts in the metal, I would actually use these same bolts. Now, this is the little cheap Harbor Freight kit nut and washer bolt assortment. It's always nice to have these on hand. They really make life easier when you're just going to reach for a little nut and bolt. But anyway, so the bolt head is shiny. You see the bolt head is shiny. So imagine that piece of metal is on there. And instead of me trying to hide the bolts, I actually used the bolt head to fasten. So of course the bolt would be in there and it would be fastening the metal to this edge all the way around. And if I drilled my, measured it out real nice and drilled my holes uniform all the way around, say I put 4 bolts on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 over here, or something along them lines. Maybe 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, however I chose to do it. But so my metal is on there, and of course I could either paint it black, or I could get crazy with it and try to mimic one of these colors of the truck or anything. And I have these shiny bolts sticking in there, kind of almost like an industrial look. So you would see the shiny bolt heads, but of course I would drill my holes and make them uniform so it looks like it's meant to be like that, and kind of just tie it all together, because that's actually what I do. The metal work, the fab work, the welding, all of that stuff. So, all of this creating and working with wood and fabric and all of that is new to me. Of course, I did my dash and all of that, and I did several dashes and everything, but it's still a learning process. It's still, every time I do it, of course, I never did door panels before, but I've done a few dashes, and every time I do it, I learn a little more, I get a little better. But I just think it'd be a nice little trick to put that metal on there and kind of tie it all together with the fact that that's what I really do with the metal work and the fab work. And I just think that would give it a little nice look. And I could even backlight this area back here in this recess, put me a plexiglass behind the metal when I bolted on there with the plexiglass, and they sand the back of the plexiglass with like 220, and it like frosts it, so I could actually backlight that. So whatever I had him plasma cut into the design in there, have my LEDs back here, and it would backlight that out of there. And I think that would give it a nice little touch too. So let me know if you watch this video, if you guys see it, what you guys think about that idea. I ordered the mesh. I had got this mesh right here. I showed you guys in the last video. This is the gutters. This is for your gutter of your house to keep the leaves out. And like I said, they had this at Lowe's. It's like $2.53 a piece. It's real thin metal. And of course, I was gonna paint that black and fill these gaps in on this part here, and then up here in the front, that whole area right there, fill that all in, paint that mesh black, and just fill that in and give it a kind of little closed off look without having to wrap it all. But I actually found on Amazon, they sold a roll. They sold a roll of this same style mesh, and it came in a roll, and it was a lot bigger, a lot wider. So I think it was like 13 inches wide by like, I don't know, 30 inches long or something on the roll. It's only like $17. So I ordered that because I told you guys that back here in this area right here, where I wanted to put the Flow Series LED light. I don't even see the light right now. I don't know what the heck I did with it, but hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, here goes one of them. But of course, this is the Flow Series LED light that I had, that I was going with the idea of putting it behind here. And remember, I told you guys it would basically slide in here somehow like this. Let me get it real quick. I know I'm trying to make the video as short as possible, but you know how that goes. But okay, so just imagine something like that right there. That would be all of the LED light that you would see. Of course, I would move it over just a little bit. I just stuck it in there. It's barely hanging on. But if I moved it over, a little bit, I can't really get it to stay. But you get the idea. That would be where the LED was in there. And of course, that one changes all the crazy colors like my wheel lights. And then I was going to take that mesh and paint that mesh black and put over top of it. So this whole area behind here would be covered with that mesh. And what it would do is just kind of break the LEDs up a little bit, so you're not looking directly at those LED lights just like that inside of the door panel. It would kind of just break it up a little bit. But that's one idea. Like I said, I ordered that mesh. It was delivered. I just forgot to pick it up before I got up here to the shop. So I wanted to make this video and show you guys. Like I said, the driver's side turned out a lot better. I'm happy with it. Still some little gaps and all of that stuff, but that's just what we got to live with. You learn each and every time. So I hope y'all like it, enjoy. Appreciate all the love in the comments.